it's the pinnacle of, cork twisting is quad cork. Nobody else, or like very few people have done it. And then it was kind of the thoughts in my head were, do I even deserve this? Like, these people that have done it are insane. Like, these are legends. Am I among them? Like, am I really that person?
What's up, guys? Today's guest is a professional tricker known for his insane abilities. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Mr. Tiki Wu. What's up, man?
Yo, what's good? Yeah, I'm chilling.
Dude, thanks for making the time to do this. For those that don't know, you are on the opposite side of the world. Where are you currently at?
So I am currently on an island in Sweden called Gotland. Oh. It is the biggest island in the Baltic.
And is that where you call home? Is that where you're born and raised?
Right now, well, it's because I lived in London for most of my life, which is hence the accent. But I lived there until I was 16, and then my parents decided to move because my mom is from here and she has her parents here and everything. So we decided to go because they were struggling with like work and stuff in London. They were just finding it very stressful, so they decided to take a break and come here, and I just kind of came with after a bit.
Crazy, man. And you know what's so funny is that you were like, I lived in the UK till you're 16, and I'm doing the math. I'm like, that's not that many years ago. You're actually relatively young. I only came here like mid 2006 or mid 2019, so I haven't been here for too long. But it's like it's a huge change from like a city life to somewhere that's so desolate because. They have a city here, but it's nothing like, London or anything like that. So it was definitely a big change, but I'm actually really enjoying the peace and quiet here. Even though I've lived in the city for so long, and I do obviously miss the city quite a lot, living here, it's a really nice, I don't think I'm going to stay here permanently, but like living here for the time that I have has been really like relaxing, to put it simply. Like it's there's no like crazy amounts of cars going outside my window and stuff like that. It's just like very mundane, very relaxed. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's pretty crazy. You almost moved there like literally like a year before COVID broke out. So
I know it was kind of, and I actually feel kind of blessed for that because I've been able to. I know a lot of people have been struggling to train with like COVID restrictions in their gyms and stuff, and I haven't really had any of that. I've always been able, like since I've been in this gym, I've had access to it. Just not like there has been COVID rules and stuff, but I know I'm really close with the owners, so they just let me go there for free whenever. Yes. Which is like the tricker's biggest dream is like having the key to the gym, right? So I've definitely been blessed in this situation, like having with COVID and everything. I'm so glad that I'm here in lots of ways.
That's what I was going to say. I know the lockdowns have been relatively strict in the UK, even with like traveling with friends of mine that want to come over and stuff like that. What's it like over where you are?
Over here, it's been very, Sweden's been very, very lax about everything. So like where everywhere else has been wearing face masks and stuff, and we haven't had to wear like crazy, like we haven't had to wear face masks unless it's like, special situations where you're like traveling or something. It's been so lax and quite nice because I have visited the UK like quite a few times since COVID has broken out, and just like I'll always forget to bring my face mask and then have to go all the way back home because you're not allowed to do anything without them. And it's definitely nice to not have that kind of extra. I don't have to remember to bring something extra when I go out and stuff like that. It's nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. Here in Los Angeles, man, they just brought the rule back where we have to wear them even inside the gym again, and it's really difficult.
Because, I can't imagine how difficult it is to train with them. Like, I don't know how much it impedes, but I've seen like people's face masks go up onto their eyes and stuff, like mid-combo. Like, that just sounds a bit disastrous. So I definitely feel really glad that I've been in Sweden. I haven't had to wear them and trick with them. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so you kind of just referred to it, how you have access to the gym, and it's something that I've been wanting to ask you forever from your videos. From what it looks like,
the floor that you train on frequently in your videos does not look that big at all, in my personal opinion.
It's tiny. And I actually, I have the measurements somewhere, but I've completely forgotten them. But to put it into like, okay, so this is, I have like the whole story about how I got my floor. So it's kind of crazy. But so I moved here in like mid 2019, like summer. And I kind of realized quite quick, I've known this for a while because I've been going to this island for like summer visits since we have family here. So I've been going here since my childhood, and there is no spring floor on the island. When I came here, no spring floor on the island. So going from a life of like training twice a week in London with like some really good trickers to coming here with, there's like one or two people training tricking and parkour who aren't crazy good, and then there's like no spring floor on the whole island. I mean, they do have a spring floor, but it's in storage and they only set it up like once a year. And I'm like, I can't do that. I need some floors. Like, so moving here was like the main thing that I needed to focus on. Like, how am I going to train? Right? I could take the 4-hour boat ride over to the mainland Sweden and train there, but that's just a lot. That's like so long. That's 8 hours to go back and forth. So it was like, okay, what do I do? So for the first like couple of months, I was just training on grass. Like, yes. I have like from the and like we have an air track, so that was kind of, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was putting on so much weight because I just wasn't training. Like I was getting like, because I wasn't tricking like I regularly did, so I was putting on like all this weight. I was just getting heavy, and then I was like, okay, I need to sort this out. So there was this trampoline park that was opening on like the other side of the island. And we had heard about it, and we were like, oh cool, that's cool, you know, like this is at least something, right? And they opened up this trampoline park, which is, unfortunately, it's like the complete opposite side of the island. So I have to make the drive, like the 45-minute drive over there, which is, it's such a small island, so it's like the worst place it could be.
Totally.
But it's still a place. But this trampoline park opened, and we went there, and they have like an airbag, and they have like professional trampolines, and I'm like, this is pretty chill. Like, this is pretty nice. Like, at least it's something to work on. And we met the owners, and we spoke to the owners, and they were like, yeah, you know, our kids we decided to open up a trampoline park because we know a lot of people like it, and we have some kids that really enjoy flipping. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. And they have never heard of tricking before. So I was my first introduction to kind of what it was and how I train it. And I explained to them, like, I don't have anywhere to train. Like, this kind of sucks. And they were like, well, you know, we can ask around. They were like, you know, if you do end up deciding to like build one, or, you know, if you can figure out, if you decide to, you know, build one or find one that you can get for cheap or something, then you can put it here. You know, we can have the spring floor at our place for free. And I was like, that's amazing. It's just finding a spring, because they're expensive, right? I was like, if I'm gonna get one, I'm gonna try, and my parents were gonna help me see if we could find like a second-hand one or something. But, you know, a couple of months went by, and I was training on the trampoline, and the owners hit me up, and they're like, we've found someone on the island who has like an old spring floor potentially, right? And I'm like, I was trying not to get my hopes up, right? I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, we can go check it out. And so I was like, okay, spring. I mean, they didn't say spring floor. They said like a tumbling track. So I was like, okay, it could be like one of those rod tumbling tracks, and I'll be like a bit sad, but I had a little bit of hope there. And we spent one day going to meet the guy who had it in his like storage system, and it was this old like sports field, and there's like this massive like garage type thing, and we open it up, and I'm seeing this wood with foam blocks attached to it, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is it, right? And it's kind of funny because the reason why it is so small is because it is designed to be a tumbling track. The 3 lanes that I have are designed to be one long lane, right? So it's kind of wild that we made it work, because we basically were like, I was seeing all of this stuff. I was like, this is what I need, right? They have foam blocks. The foam had been like eaten away by rats. Like the foam blocks at the gym, they're like so sketch. It's kind of funny, but we basically we got it for like a super cheap price, and then there was like this extra foam layer
or like these foam padding, or like these foam sheets that they had, and I was like, do these come with them? And they were like, oh no. They were like, oh no, like this is for something completely different. I was like, can we buy these too? And they were like, oh, we don't even use them, so just like, just throw them in for free. I was like, this is just amazing, right? So we have like, and then we spent like 2 days just building it up, and I realized, this actually works. Like, this actually, like, it's small, but it is good and it works. And the little foam layer that I have, I don't know, like that has saved, like that layer of softness has saved me so many times. Like just it softens the blow a lot, but like we got really lucky to find what we did.
So
the floor had been in storage for 10 plus years. They weren't doing anything with it.
That's crazy.
So it was a real, like, it's like we struck gold. It was like a real sick moment that we managed to get, a functional floor.
I think what's even crazier, man, is that this entire time I still assumed it was a spring floor, and you basically are letting us know that it's just a foam floor.
Like, it kind of, it was a big difference because I've been training on spring floor for most of my time in London, so it was a difference. But any floor that has a little bit of sponginess, like can take the impact, is a good floor to me. So like, I've been on spring floors that have like no foam layer under the carpet, and it's like really hard, and you feel like the wood when you land on it. Yeah. This one is soft, and that's like all I could ask for, really.
That is crazy, man. And so you obviously have this amazing relationship with the gym, which I feel like is so cool to hear that story for other listeners, because I feel like a lot of kids get intimidated by even taking the chance to talk to gym owners and things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is like, if you know the gym owners, you can oftentimes get like if you build a good relationship with them, you can oftentimes have like, get benefits like sessioning whenever you want for free and stuff like that. I do work for them. I do like lessons for them and stuff. And I do, play my part to help the place, keep going and marketing and all that. But like, just having the floor there, letting us put the floor there is just such a generous, thing. And I'm really glad that, I got the opportunity to even have a floor to train on. But this is I have friends here that have been trying to train tricking for a really long time, and they haven't had a floor for like 14 years. And this is the first time they've had access to a floor on the island. So it was a plus for everybody. And, it's been going strong for like, I think we've had it since like April last year, so it's been like a year of just a ghetto spring floor with like it was supposed to be a tumble track, but we turned it into a floor.
It makes so much more sense now that I see it. It makes so much sense. And so how many days a week are you spending time training there at the gym, and how many days do you train elsewhere outside, I guess?
I usually train I try and get like maybe 3 sessions in a week if I'm like lucky. I would say like the vibe I've had recently is that I really don't enjoy training. Well, I do enjoy training alone, but I find it kind of long to train alone, because the problem is that it's the furthest away it could be. The training, like it's really far. So it's not. I know people go way further to go and train, so it's not that. But the problem is that if I go train alone, nobody's in the gym. It feels almost like it's hard to get the motivation to go and train alone. Yeah. So I have this one friend who is on the way up on the drive, and if he can't train, then I'm not training. So I'm like, okay, I call him up. I'm like, if you want to go train, I'm gonna go train, and then we'll go up together. But it usually happens, I would say, 2 to 3 times a week nowadays. Okay. And then I spend, if there's a day that it doesn't work out, like I'm working and he's working like on the same day and we can't match it up, then I will stay at home and just work on my knees and ankles to make sure that they don't fail me at the next session. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
And now sometimes in your videos, we also I feel like I see clips, obviously, of you grass training, but I also see some clips where it looks like there's 3 trampolines, yes, kind of next to each other. Where is that at?
That's my house. That's where we're living right now. Like my parents bought this. We sold our house in London and we bought this farm. Okay. That we don't really
we don't have animals or anything, but we just have like this massive space that we have. And like, I was like, well, this is perfect for having the train, because we've always, even when we were living in London, we basically, there's this website called Free Cycle where people give away stuff for free. And we got like so many, we would just get, every time a trampoline would be offered, we would just buy it. Or well, not buy it, just get it. We would just go and pick it up. And we basically just had this garden full of trampolines. And it's cool because I remember we had most of them for free from Free Cycle. And I looked up, because I was like, this is a really good trampoline. And I looked it up, and it was like, the retail price was like ridiculous. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, I've got like a really good garden trampoline for free. But we basically, we sold most of them, when we moved here. But we brought the big one, the big professional one that we had, which we also got for like very cheap off of like eBay, I think. But we brought that one with us in this big moving truck. And then the rest of the ones we have are Swedish trampolines. So these like ones that we got here. And this tramp setup is like my life. Like, that's the only reason I'm good at tricking, is because I've been bouncing on these trampolines. Like I'm like a huge advocate for trampolines, just because it's a way to train safely. Because I've always seen, like, you know, if I'm going to train something hard, I can learn the technique and the air awareness, everything safely, before I bring it to somewhere that's a little bit more dangerous. Just like if you were training, when you're training parkour, you train the really hard stuff in the gym with like blocks first, and then you bring it outside. And that's, I think it's the best way of training tricking there is, like, at an early stage.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, because a lot of your earliest videos that still remain online, obviously you could have deleted and put some on private, but a lot of the early ones from 2016 are all trampoline based videos, it looks like.
Yep. All trampoline. Like I learned all of my tricks on trampoline before I brought them to floor, and I kind of, the mindset I had towards it was like, okay, if I can, I had this mindset where I was like, I don't really think there's anything that I can't train on trampoline. Like, there's very few tricks. There's a lot of people put it into the like group of, I train swings on trampoline and that's it. Like, I can train like falls and stuff like that. But I would train cheat kicks, touchdown raise, Gumby. I'd train these all on trampoline before I brought them to floor. And that sounds really weird, but it like, if you figure it out, it works quite well. And it's so much safer than just throwing yourself onto grass or onto spring floor first, because it's a harder surface. So what I would do is I would just spend some time, all my free time just out there grinding whatever new trick I wanted to learn. And I tried, like, the first proper tricking trick I tried to learn was probably like Cork and TDR, because I thought they looked so damn cool. And I remember throwing myself in like my living room floor, like the wood floor, and just like not even close to committing. Like, I would just see the floor and just touch my hand quickly or something like that. I was so scared to commit. So trampoline was the next best thing, and like, that's completely how I built my foundation of tricking is completely built off of everything that I did like when I was 13, 14 on trampoline.
Crazy. It's so crazy to hear about how you were scared about a single cork and now you're doing quads and stuff like that.
That's kind of cool. I was scared about so many, like, everything's scary when you don't have everything's scary for me if I haven't done it on trampoline before. Every trick you've ever seen me do on floor has probably been done at least 5 times or more on trampoline.
Crazy.
But most of the time I rep out, like, the tricks on trampoline, I rep out at least 100 times before I even bring them to floor. Even like, and the thing is, even now I still use it as a tool. Like, I use trampoline a lot less now, but even on the days that I don't go up to the gym, I use it as a tool to refine my technique, because nowadays it's all that matters for me now is the little changes in technique. I can get powerful, but really the biggest thing that's going to get me those massive tricks like quad cork and trip and all that is the small little technique changes.
And what I use trampoline for now is the refinement of those little ones. So if I go on the trampoline, I will train like getting the perfect eagle and getting the perfect block. And then I would transfer that information to my next, gym session. And it works really well.
Okay. And so how did you first get introduced to tricking or learn about it? Were you already doing tricks on the trampoline before that, or what was the order, I guess, of your movement journey?
Yeah, like I say that I've been tricking for about 5 years, but it's kind of give or take. Because I've been moving all my life. I've been like doing different sports all my life. Like I at a young age, I was jumping on the trampoline and throwing myself into, I wouldn't ever land anything really, but I would just throw myself into stuff. And I would say like where I really got into tricking, because I had been doing like some trampoline. I could do a backflip and front flip on trampoline, and I could do a full, but I had no idea what it was called at the time. And then I went to this class. I went to this parkour class that my mom actually forced me to go because I was such a shy kid. And my mom was like, I know this is something you'll enjoy. You can go. I was like, I don't want to do it, Mom. I don't want to go. Like, and she was like, you like flipping, just, join in. And I went there and I saw like this guy do a dub full on the trampoline. I was like, that's all I want to do. I was like, that's all I ever want to do. So I looked up everything I could find on YouTube. I was like, 720 backflip tutorial. And this was when I was like 13, and I spent every day I was like going out on the trampoline trying to get a little bit closer to it, and I finally landed it, and it kind of opened up this world in my head. I was like, okay, I can do this. What's the next hardest thing? And then I was looking at trampoline videos for like quad full and triple full, and then through quad full, through looking up quad full tutorials and like quad full examples, I found Nick Fry, because he's also a tramp kid, right? So I found Nick Fry's old videos, and I found this video from 2013 called Quad Squad, where it's everybody that year who could do quad full on garden trampoline. And I was like, I need to get in this. I was like, this is my life goal, right? Because I like, if he does another one of these quad squads, I want to be in it, right? And unfortunately, he never did another video of that. But like, I was so motivated to be part of this squad. So I went outside and I was drilling twisting like every day, and I got triple full, and then I finally got quad full. I think it was actually just before I was 13. Wow. I got quad full on the garden tramp, and I was like so excited. And then like after some time of watching Nick Fry's trampoline videos, I was like, okay, let me go onto his YouTube channel and see what his newer content looks like. Newest video was a Tri-Box Gathering promo. Tri-Box Gathering promo 2015. And I click into it. First trick he does in that video is cut quad. And I remember thinking I was thinking, I just landed this on trampoline. Like, he can do it on the floor. That's next level.
Yeah.
And that first video, I remember watching that first video, that was the original exposure to tricking that I had. And I was like 13, but it actually took me a minute to even actually gain the courage to try it, because I was quite, I was like, I could never do that. Like, he's doing this all on the floor, I could never do that. But then I would go to this parkour class, the one that I saw the guy do double full, and I would just, gradually try like a few standing backs on the floor. And kind of get used to some, like, I tried scoot, and I barely could even take the weight on my arm. And it was a slow start, but then the more I watched tricking, the more I really wanted to do it. I had this I was trying corks and stuff on the trampoline, and I could kind of figure that out, but stuff like kicks and stuff like transitions and TDR was the coolest thing in the world to me. And I was like, how do they do that? Like, I was looking at them, I was like, their body's not supposed to move like that. And I was watching I was watching Michael Guthrie and stuff, and before I even like really took wanted to actually really put some effort into trying it. And I was watching a Guthrie sampler one day, and I saw him do touchdown raise like 50 times in one sampler, and I was like, okay. I said that I was like 13, 14, And I was like, okay, I need to get off my ass and learn how to do this. So I was like, oh yeah, I just Googled touchdown raise tutorial, and it kind of just started from there. That was like where I was, I think it was early 14s. Oh no, it was during, I was 13, and I was like, that was where it really kicked off. That one me Googling TDR tutorial was where I really took like an active interest in learning the sport. Yeah.
That is crazy, man. And so with that being said, have you had the opportunity since to meet Nick Fry and Michael Guthrie at all?
I've met Michael Guthrie.
Okay.
I met him like 2 years ago, and that was really cool. But I haven't met Nick Fry yet, and I really want to. Unfortunately, I was supposed to meet Nick Fry at the same event, but like a lot of the like gatherings in America, I haven't been to. I've only been to America once. So, you know,
I saw you there.
It was at the Adrenaline event, you were at. But all of the other ones have been, you know, I was supposed to go to like loop kicks before COVID started, which is a shame. But like I would love to go. I would love to meet him in the future and just, you know, I mean, he was my idol for the longest time. Nick Fry, just the god on tramp and the god on floor. He was like everything I ever wanted to be. You know, shout out to him. He's sick. He's such a cool guy. And he was what started it all for me, really.
Great. So I got to ask, what is the highest number of rotations you've gotten to on the trampoline, and what is the highest number of rotations on the spring floor?
I could say I've done five and a half on trampoline.
Okay.
On like not on a garden trampoline, but like on a professional one. I could definitely do 6 if I wanted to, but I'm not so like I've done 5-5, like quint full to quint full. And I've done like I could do 6 if I wanted to, but it's not really something that I'm chasing anymore. It's like that was young me. Now I'm more into like the interesting stuff on floor. But on floor, I've done quad full and quad cork. That's the most I've done. I do think I could quint full one day, but it's all going to depend on how badly I want it in the future, because it's not like a burning desire to get it right now on the floor. And on a foam floor, blocking or the spring that you get from punching is just not the same as a spring floor. Yeah. So I would definitely like if I feel like a stupid good floaty quad on spring floor, I might just try quint one day. But other than that, like quads and where it's out on floor right now.
Okay, 100%. And now, not to put any undue pressure on you, so you don't have to ask this or reveal it. There's some guys that don't want to put it in the universe so people call them out on it. But is there anything that you are specifically training for or chasing?
Right now, actually nothing. Like right now, I have no like over like big goals that I have in mind, which makes it really weird to session actually, because I have nothing that I'm particularly working for. Like I would say I have some combos and stuff that I would like to do, but as times as like one like big tricks, like single tricks, I have nothing. Like really, really weird to say, but I actually don't have any big tricks that I'm working towards right now. And that just that's all it is because I've landed most of them in this like past 6 months or so. I've done everything that I've wanted to.
Totally.
And I could have ever imagined, really, because I mean, I'm thinking about how all these stupid combos that I made up when I was 14, like, oh, wouldn't it be funny to do like double B's from triple cork? And then I did it like a couple of weeks ago. Totally. And just, it's a weird feeling because I'm at the power level right now where I can do all of those, you know, fun things I imagined when I was a kid. But most of the time I've reached like my crazy power goals.
Crazy. Now between everything from, you know, quad cork, quad full, trip, and I know you've even landed, you know, I know you landed 2-3 before you landed 1-3. Was there a trick that was the most difficult or most challenging for you to achieve?
I would say out of all of them, that's actually a really interesting question, because I'm inclined to say something like quad cork, but then I think of stuff like triple B twist, because I struggled with B twist for the longest time. It's a good question. I would say the one that I was happiest about to land is probably, it's actually a really hard question. I I would say what meant the most to me was probably, or like the biggest grind that I've had and the most stress that I've had for like one trick is probably quad cork.
Okay.
And I did that a lot. Like it's been a year since I did it now. And leading up to when I was going to do it, I had tons of thoughts in my head, like, am I actually good enough to do this?
Wow.
Because there's kind of this, like I was close to it. And it had been like 2 years since Jose landed his, and he was the last person to do it. And I was kind of like, my triple cork was feeling really good. And I was thinking, it was kind of in the ballpark of, in my head, like, is this actually possible, right, for me to do? And tons of these thoughts, I never really realized how it kind of affects you mentally, is that when you're going for those tricks that only a few people have done, or, nobody has done, or whatever, it kind of puts this strain on you, especially being someone, who doesn't see themselves as like the best or like a top tier tricker. Because I didn't see myself as a top tier tricker like the beginning of 2020. But then, I'm getting up to this milestone, it's the pinnacle of, cork twisting is quad cork. Nobody else, or like very few people have done it. And then it was kind of the thoughts in my head were, do I even deserve this? Like, do I even... These people that have done it are insane. Like, these are legends. Am I among them? Like, am I really that person? So it was this kind of stress in my head, like, am I actually good enough to do this? Because I was thinking, I'm not that powerful compared to these guys. Like, I'm not that good. And it was kind of this battle in my head, because I had these triple corks that felt quadruple for quite a while. And then there was one session I was actually training alone. And I felt so good, and I was like, I need to go for it once to see if I could even even imagine actually landing it. And I went for it, and I landed on my arse, but I was so happy that I'd just gone for it, because I was so stressed about hurting myself and if it was even possible for me to do. And then I landed on my feet for 3.5 the next attempt, and I was like, this is so close. This is so close. And I posted it. And then Zen landed it the next day, fully rotated, like he landed it perfectly. And I was just like, no. But at the same time, I was like, that saddens me. Because I wanted to be the fourth to do it just because it's nice with the number 4, right? Yeah. But he just completely, he destroyed it, and he did a really good one. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But I was like super happy for him. And I love Zen and Shosei. They're just grinding. They're great guys. And then 2 days after that, I was like, I need to land it properly, because if I wait too long, then I'm going to be 10th to land it. I'm going to be upset. So I was like, okay, because there was this race going on that was happening. Fuji was trying to do it. Yeah. And Anatoly was gearing up to do it, I think. And I was like, oh god, this is stressful. And I woke up on the day before my birthday, the day before my 18th birthday. I woke up and I was like, today's the day. I was like, I'm doing it. And I had put this pressure on myself. The whole day I was feeling the pressure. I was like, and then I called up my friend. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to try it today. I'm going to try and land it today. And he was like, okay, cool. And I get up there, and the first thing I did was just prep. I prepped 5 times, and then I landed it a couple of times, but it wasn't really it was rotated enough to where it's acceptable, but there was this whole debacle about how, if it counts or not and stuff like that. And honestly, I count it as my first one, but I can understand if you don't. It was under rotated, and even my newest one is more rotated. The one I landed 3 weeks ago, it was still under rotated, and it's not fully done. But it's so hard to get these crazy single moves to fully rotate. So I fully understand if people don't count the first one I did, and you can even see in the video, I was so unhappy that I could feel myself landing short. But it was a really big milestone for me, mainly because it changed my mindset about almost everything I did. Because all of those previous, thoughts of, am I good enough? Am I this good? Can I really do this? It all kind of, it dissipated more when I actually landed that. And it made me really think about tricking in a different way, because I realized, I can do these things. I just need to not not put the expectation that these are too hard. And I think is what I see a lot of people do is that they look at these, they look at me or they look at the other top trickers and they see, stuff that they will never be able to do. They always put this into their head like that's too hard for me to do. When in reality, if they feel like they can do it, most of the time they can. And I see these people who clearly have double full, but they believe that they don't have it, they're not at that level yet. And I go, give it a go. Like instead, put these preconceptions aside and just give it a go and see if you can get close. And most of the time they get really close and they kind of open like, oh, this isn't actually as hard as everybody was saying. Like, and I definitely felt like this big shift where I just felt like if I feel that it's possible, I shouldn't let anything else stop me than just listening to myself and, believing in myself. Having the confidence that I can do this, even if it's a world's first or, even if only one other guy who's done it and he's done more stuff than me. If I feel like I can do it, then I can probably do it. Wow. So that's kind of where I'm at now is like, if I'm confident in it, 99% of the time it's going to work out.
It's a cool mindset to hear, man. And it's also, I feel like, reassuring what you just talked about as far as the pressure that other kids can feel when they're up and coming or not feeling like they're worthy or good enough. I feel like it's really, really cool for them to hear it coming out of a voice like yourself.
Yeah, I know it's like kind of cliche for like the top guy to be like, it's easy or whatever, but it's not about that. It's more about like, I think people need to stop looking at everybody else and start just putting it into their own, if they think that they can do it, then they can most of the time. And it's about believing in yourself in a way that's like, no, people put these like labels on like the biggest tricks, like this is, God tier or whatever. And it's like, just if you feel like you can do it, then try it and see how it goes. Don't let anybody else stop you from, getting those big stuff, those big tricks, getting that bread.
Totally. And now, when we talked a few minutes ago, you mentioned that you thought maybe quint full would be a possibility for yourself, but you didn't include quint cork in that. Do you think that move will ever be landed, or do you think it's that much more difficult?
I do think it will be landed. I've like no doubt in my mind that it will happen in the future. I just don't know when. Like, I don't think it's going to happen soon. I don't know if anybody from my generation would do it. Like, I think it's kind of hard to say, but I the way I feel about it now is that a lot of the people doing quad cork have almost optimized the technique. I would say you can get further with it, and there is small optimizations that you can make to make the technique better, but I find it difficult to see how you can make it better enough to add an extra full rotation.
Got it.
But I'm probably going to be proven wrong, just like everybody was with double cork and triple cork and quad cork. Like, and I would love to see it when it happens. Like, I will be cheering on whoever takes up the big task of trying to get that trick. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Looking forward to it myself, man. And so for someone that has achieved all of these moves and things like that, I feel like a question the audience will want me to ask that may be a little too general here. So just answer it in the best way possible. What do you think is the secret behind twisting properly or getting good form on your rotational axis in order to accomplish these dubs and triples and quads?
For me, and I try and like help as many people, because I have a lot of people asking me the same question. I have like, I think about it as like, I think a lot of people put too little, they try and put themselves in this like, they try and figure out something that's wrong with their twisting, right? And they try and say like, okay, this guy is crossing his legs, so that means I should focus on crossing my legs to get my twist better. But most of the time, small stuff like that doesn't end up making, like, I would say, I've heard a lot of people be like, oh, I need to cross my legs more to twist faster. And in my opinion, that's like not really the way to go about it. Like, it's something that can, it happens to naturally, like your legs start to cross the more you twist and the more speed that you get. But it's never something intentional. It's never something like I want to cross my legs. If anything, I want to try and not cross my legs. So I think a lot of people struggle to diagnose what is the problem, like what their technique is lacking. And I always try to just compare myself to the best guys. Like Nick Fry, I would say like, oh, this is what Nick Fry's doing. I'm going to try and do that too. That was like my whole mindset when I was getting good on trampoline. And then now for like the twisting technique, I can say it's all about being like as compact as possible. You want to be a straight line. You don't want to have any like limbs sticking out or like bent legs. The most ideal is to just be like, have your arms like this and just be straight with your legs, as straight as possible. That's like the best form for like holding the twist, but the most important thing is how you take off, really, I would say. And it all depends on like your setup. But what a lot of people, I think, take for granted is blocking. People don't block enough, and people don't pay attention to it enough because, I had this like realization when I was going for quad cork and stuff. I was like, there's a lot of things, small things that I do that actually stop me from getting the most out of my twist. And I was thinking, I want to improve my triple cork. What can I do to fix that? So I watched all the quad corkers, and I was thinking, they're not doing these things that I'm doing. Like, is that a bad thing to do? And I start trying to stop doing that, and I realized I've just been sabotaging myself this whole time. And bad technique is something that happens. Like, everyone can develop bad habits with their technique. If you do it enough, then you're going to get used to doing it that way. And, weeding out those small issues are really difficult. But what I actually think the most important thing is being able to diagnose those issues in the first place, being able to look at your technique and say, this is what is lacking. And everyone that I teach now, like everyone that, asks me for advice or whatever, my friends here that I help teach tricking to, I try and I try and say to them, if you look at the best guys versus your clip, see what they're doing differently and try and apply that to your twist, to your technique. And that's like comparing yourself to other people is probably one of the best things that you can do. Not really in a competitive sense, like, I want to do it as good, or like, I want to be as good as him, or I want to be better than him, or whatever. It's more like, just look at if they are doing something that you want to do, look at their technique versus yours and try and make it as similar as possible. Try and get it to the point where you look at his and you look at yours and you say, oh, we're basically the same. We could do it, synchro, and it wouldn't look any different. That's how I kind of focused on, improving my twisting technique. And I think it's a lot about block, and it's a lot about spotting, and it's a lot about like, I see all these bad habits that people have in their tricks, and I think the number one thing is trying to figure out what is wrong in the first place. If anybody is having a problem with their twisting technique and they can't figure out why, it's probably, just look at the guy. Not to be egotistical, but like, look at me, look at the other top trickers and see what we are doing differently. And then just try and apply it to yourself. That's like the best advice that I can give to anybody trying to improve their twisting.
100. And now we've heard about like your trampoline training, which you utilize a lot. And obviously we heard you get to go to the gym maybe 3 times a week. What are you doing like outside of the gym for cross training, conditioning, and rehabilitation? Do you like do stuff for body maintenance in order to recover?
I've been doing a lot of, I've had problems with my knees and ankles over the last like year and a couple of months. So every tricker has ankle and knee problems at some point. But there's this guy on Instagram called Knees Over Toes guy. You probably know him. I've been like religiously trying to figure out, or watching his exercises and copying them as a way to actually fix my knees and ankles. And I've been doing stuff like, I've been not just taking advice from him, but taking advice from other people as well, like my physio and stuff, and seeing what, creating my own little exercise plan that I kind of do every time that I'm not training at the gym. And my knees and ankles have never been feeling like better, honestly, since I've picked up and actually started really addressing the, core imbalances in my muscles and stuff like that. Like, I've been stronger than ever. I've been feeling better, like not just being able to fix the pain in my knees and ankles, but actually being able to increase my jump height at the same time. Because I've never been the guy to do standing double full. Like, for the longest time, I was like struggling, and that was a very stark difference to like Nick Fry. Even though I looked up to Nick Fry so much, I could never do the crazy standing tricks that he does. Like he's done standing double back. Like, it's ridiculous. He has to jump in his legs, right? I've always and I like have the genes for jumping because my dad was a ballet dancer. Like he jumped super high, but my legs just no. Like it was this standing backflip was a struggle for me for the longest time. But now I'm feeling stronger like from standing than ever before. I mean, I'm able to do like standing dub, which I never even thought would be possible for me. So it's it's really a win-win. I mean, I'm sorting out a lot of the pains in my joints, and I'm actually gaining height in my jump at the same time. So it's been amazing. I've been conditioning quite a lot. You know, for a period of time, like a couple of months or like a month ago, I was doing it. I was on the grind every day, just sorting out it. I'm a little bit lazier with it now, but like a month ago, I was going ham trying to sort out like any pains and stuff that I had, and it worked really well.
Yeah, it's starting to become something that's very common in tricking. In fact, I had Brian Huang from California Tricking on a couple episodes ago, and he grew up as a basketball player that even won the state championship, and he could never touch a basketball rim. He's been doing knees over toes now, and he thinks that he's going to be able to dunk in like a year from now. He's like, I'm already grabbing rim. I think I'll be able to dunk. It's crazy.
I mean, he's the work that, you know, the ATG coaches are putting out, like the knees over toes guide, stuff like that. The work that they're putting out and the information that they're putting out is gold. Like it's gold for anybody. And what's great about it is that, you know, you can sign up for the coaching program and do that if you want to. Like, people rate your form and make sure that you're doing the exercises properly, and you'll get like a reminder to do it every day and stuff like that. But I don't use that. I follow all of his YouTube stuff and all of the, you know, exercises that he's doing, and I feel like I can replicate form pretty okay. So I've been doing those, and it's been working wonders for me. Like I had super like bad mobility in my ankle, and I've been trying to address that, and I have been able to address that, and like it's been doing great stuff for me. So I really appreciate the work that he and the others over at the the Athletic Truth group put out. It's really, really good stuff.
Hell yeah. And this isn't a promo, guys, so this is real actual endorsements.
Yeah, I'm not sponsored. I wish I was.
Exactly. And so, yo, man, one of the questions that I do have for you, especially as you continue to break boundaries within the sport and get to this upper echelon of, you know, for lack of a better term, elite athletes within tricking, I feel like one of the things that starts to come up that people are always curious to see is these high-level trickers put themselves to the test against other trickers. So I've always just wanted to ask what your take on battling is, and if you enjoy it, dislike it, or if it's something that you think you'll continue to do in the future or stay away from.
I have like a love-hate relationship with them, as I think most people do. Is like I love them. Like it's fun to do, but also I really hate the stress of them. The first time I battled wasn't so bad because I was in my like home gym. It was like Genetrics gathering. And I used to train there all the time, and like I was getting to hang out with friends. It was pretty chill. I went against like Johan and Alexander. So there was no chance of me winning at the time anyway. I was just like, I accepted defeat, and I just had a good time. But then it got stressful for me when I was at 2018 Hooked, and everybody wanted me in battle, so I signed up. And the cold sweat that I experienced before I went on that stage, the way that I was looking at the crowd and just sweating my ass off, right? Like I was so scared of everything. And you know, they have like the randomizer on the big screen. It's like going through, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like, no. And the first round I got pitted against Alexander Anderson. I was like, oh well. I was like, this is just how it's gonna be then. And you know, I remember it was actually funny. I was walking up to battle, like to stand opposite him during the battle. And as I'm walking up, my first pass had aerial semi as the first move, aerial semi front swing. And I'm walking up and I'm like, do I even remember how to aerial? That thought that went through my mind. I was like, how does my body do that thing again? Like, does that even work? Like I was so stressed that these thoughts were going through my head. I was like, how do I take off? Like what do I do with my body? So that was like, I remember that was an awful time because I was just stressing so much. But as I've gone on, it's been a little bit better. Like I've been a little less, you know, scared for everything. And I wouldn't say I enjoy them. And it kind of, for me, it ruins gatherings a little bit because you get to, you go and I can't really train how I want to train because I'm saving myself for the battles and stuff like that. So it's, it's a little bit here and there. It does feel amazing to, win and stuff like that, but I don't know, I think it stops me from enjoying tricking as much as I could at a gathering. But after the battles is always the best time, so it's like, it's kind of an opportunity to miss out on if I don't do it.
Yeah.
So especially at the level that I am at now, like I feel like I'm expected to battle, and two, it's like it would be great to win, So it's kind of I'm back and forth on it. It's kind of, I like it and I hate it as well.
Dude, I can't even imagine from someone that grew up doing, martial arts competitions. I did a lot of solo sports growing up, track and field, martial arts, where you really don't have a team to rely on or blame when things go wrong. But I've always said it, like, dude, as a commentator and an analyst, I have the easiest job in the book. You guys have all the pressure, all the risk, and I just get to sit there and have a crazy view of it all,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, you can do your best stuff in a battle just because the adrenaline is pumping so hard. Like you can pull out stuff that you definitely didn't think you could pull out beforehand, which is kind of the fun part about it. And I do enjoy team battles a lot more because you do have a team backing you, and I enjoy battling with friends because then it's less of a commitment, like a thing. It's more like, we're just gonna have fun. But when there's like prizes on the line and stuff, and you want to win, it's kind of like stressful, but. Yeah, it is what it is. It's always stressful with any type of competition, so it's just something you've got to try and deal with, I suppose.
Totally. And so, like, we heard about your early introduction to tricking through finding Nick Fry on YouTube and through his videos and stuff like that. Do you still watch anyone currently for inspiration, or do you just focus on yourself?
I would say I actually watch everyone for inspiration. Even the people who, you can look at people who aren't particularly that good at tricking, but you can actually, they will have something, one cool, unique transition. I'm like, that is cool as hell, and I want to do that. So I feel like everybody contributes to tricking, and you don't have to be that great, but as long as you're doing something new, I'm going to watch you and be inspired by you. And I would say, like, all my fellow top trickers, Zen, Shosei, Ethan, they all inspire me tons all the time, just because they are similar to my level. Like, I would say we're all around the same level. So watching, maybe not Shosei's a little bit above, but like Zen and Ethan, I can watch and be just like, oh shit, like I could probably do that. So it inspires me a lot. So if I see them do something new, I'm like, I want to do that. I can do that. So that's definitely something that I really enjoy. Those guys I really enjoy watching. I really enjoy, like, the funnest trickers to me to watch are the people who are super creative, actually. Like people like Jordan Edwards, and I really, really enjoy watching Sando. The way Sando moves is just, magical for me. The way he moves is like the way I want to flow in every trick and combo I ever do. Like he may not be the most powerful, but the movements that he does, and like sometimes the tricks that he does, it's the tricks that I watch that make me go like, how has he done that? Like what? How does he move his arm to do that, or something like that? And those are the ones that make me really excited. The ones that I can watch and have no idea how to approach is like, I want to do that really badly. Like, yeah, that's the stuff that I really like. And I see this stuff like in breakdancing as well. Like, so I see some breakdancers do some stuff that I really want to do, and I'm like, I want to do that, but breakdancing is such a commitment to try and learn, so I usually stick away from those. But anything that I can slightly imagine myself doing, I get really excited for.
Totally. Yeah. And so obviously you just released your sampler, most recently Maneuvers, and you're constantly putting out footage online. Do you have any other samplers in the works right now, or what is your inspiration behind when you put stuff out?
I'm doing a bunch of, I do samplers for Adrenaline Worldwide as well, like slightly smaller ones usually, but I do put like a lot of crazy shit in there as well. I'm saving for another one on YouTube, I think. I'm saving up, like I just did some crazy, like the stuff in my new sampler is crazy, but then I've already like one up some of it, so I'm probably gonna save those clips for a future sampler, whether it be on Adrenaline or YouTube. I'm definitely thinking about yeah, just I really enjoyed watching this sampler go out and the reception it got, because I wasn't really expecting people to like it as much as they did. It was kind of a moment of like I knew what I had done. A lot of the stuff that I'd done was crazy, but I had seen these clips already, so I wasn't really hype about it as much as, you know, maybe I should have been. But like I'd held on to some of these clips for like months. Okay. So like I did 2 trips in that video. I did triple touch rise, punch, triple full swing, triple cork, and touch rise, swing, triple cork, swing, triple cork, which is, I think only Shosei has done. So I was like very excited about that at the time, but those were like back in April and May. So when I released this sampler in July now, I was like, oh damn, like it's been a while since I've done these clips. So holding on to them for that long, I lost appreciation for them. So when the sampler finally released and everyone was freaking out, I was like, oh, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So I really enjoy releasing it in that kind of format. Like I'm having so much fun with samplers at the moment, because I've never really properly put, you know, time into saving clips and stuff. So, and I'm not very good at editing, so I always have someone who's like offered to edit. And the guy I had this time, Nikolai Smed, I think that's how you say his name. He's done like a bunch of edits. He did like this Magic Mike video, a Michael Guthrie compilation, which is super big on YouTube. And he just, you know, he hit me up and he said, you know, I'd love to edit and sample you. And I was like, that's amazing. I would save clips. And he did a really, really good job. So, you know, huge shout out to him. And I'm really happy that it came out the way it did and people enjoyed it as much as they did. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be making more in the future.
Looking forward to it, man. And so obviously, as trickers, tricking ends up being something that defines us in so many aspects of our life. What does Tiki Wu do on his off time and days when he's not training and tricking?
Good question. I do a lot of tricks, but I'm working in a restaurant right now on the island. Like, because there's this English pub that I'm working at, and because I can speak Swedish, but my Swedish isn't top notch, so it's a really easy place for me to work where I can speak English to like my colleagues and stuff. So I work, and then I have I play a lot of games. Like I've been playing quite a few games with my friends just online. I game quite a bit, and then I go on the trampoline. Those are like the 3 things that I do quite a bit outside of like my training days and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like mainly it right now. I'm waiting to try and travel again. I'd really love to go back to the UK and see my homies there, but it's quite expensive. With like, you have to pre-book these COVID tests that cost like a whole lot to go over to the UK right now. So I'm trying to wait until that's like less of a thing. And I could travel a little bit easier. And then I would love to go to more gatherings, because it's been so desolate these past 2 years. So I'm just waiting to travel pretty much. And just in the meantime, I'm working, training. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah, man. Super, super cool, man. And as you said, can't wait for the world to get back to a little bit of normalcy so these gatherings can resume and hopefully we can all get reunited again, you know?
I would love that. I really want to come out to the US again and meet you guys. Like, I mean, you guys are like, everyone in the US is killing it right now. It's crazy. I'd love. I mean, I see these communities over in like Colorado, like the big ass community. I'm like, dude, they have like a gathering every session. Like, what is that? I just want to train with them. Like, I do enjoy training. Like, my one friend that comes up to me, like, I do enjoy training, but it would be lovely to have a session with like all the big dogs.
Yeah, man, we're very blessed. It's so saturated here in America, and what Mark is doing with loop kicks up in Northern California is amazing. He's like a little 9-10-year-old student named Marcus Santos.
He just came. Yeah, they're going crazy. Like, bro. All these young kids just going crazy. Like, man, there's like this little girl in China who's just doing the crazy shit. She's going crazy. She has like a lovely TDR. She's doing like all this crazy stuff. I'm like, man, I cannot wait to see how these guys, like, you know, when they get older. And I'm like, older. I'm an old guy. I can't move my legs anymore. And I'm watching these youngins go at it. Can't wait until it happens.
It is crazy to think about, man. When I hear your story about how young you were when you discovered tricking, and then like I said, Marcus is like 9 or 10. He just came to Jam this week, and he just landed triple full on the spring floor. Stomp it.
Jesus. Yeah. They're going crazy out here.
The future is bright.
You're injured right now. Are you still training?
I am not. PT, right? Yeah, I'm in PT for my shoulder and a knee right now, but I'm anxious to get back to a little bit of training. I'm obviously at an age right now where I realize I'm not going to chase any of the crazy stuff anymore. At this point, I just want to trick for myself and to just be creative, you know?
But I think that's the best. I think that's always the way that you should be tricking. I would say, like, I'm the same now. Nowadays, I'm not concerned with really any of the. I don't want to do necessarily worlds first, and I don't want to be like chase them, because I know a lot of I'm not calling anybody out, but I know people chase like the world's first tricks and stuff like that. It's not something that I really want to do. I just want to do the stuff that I find cool, and that's all it's ever been. It's like I see these people who are like, oh, why aren't you doing Cork in yet and stuff like that. It's like, I don't think it looks that cool, so I don't want to do it. Like, so for me, it's always just been like I think that's cool. I want to do it. Like, that's just the way I go about it, and I think that's the best way to go about it. I really enjoy your stuff, so I'm excited to when you get back. Like, it's that creativity as well. Like, I watch you guys, like you and Sander and all that, and it's like the people who actually just go for the interesting transitions and stuff. I'm like, damn, that's what I want to be doing. Like, I would love to incorporate that into my combos.
Oh man.
And that's always I've always been a person that just kind of, I try and if I see a tricker do something that's called like a cool transition, I will apply it to my own tricks. And I would say that I'm quite a big blend of everybody that I like. Like, if you can kind of see the influence in my tricks when I do different things. Like, if I do like a big ass cheat 9, it's because I love when Ilya does his big ass. Yeah, I'm like, dude, Ilya's cheat 9s are massive, so I want to do that too. And then when you see me do like the cheat 12, I'm like, that's from Slava. That's Slava that's Slava moving through me. And then you see like literally anything power-wise, or like triple corks, Gumby and all that, it's all from Guthrie and stuff like that. It's all these different, I take all these different things that I love from other people, and I try and just, to do them in my own style and incorporate them into each other. I love being able to take like a 12-12 that I've been inspired from Slava to do, and this whole other combo that Ethan Turner has done, and just mash them together and just create like a crazy combo where I just mix everything together. Like, that's my favorite thing to do in tricking.
Hell yeah, man. And now this is a question I'm super interested to ask you, because I ask everyone before we get out of here. But for someone at your age that has accomplished so much already, and you've already explained that you're not really chasing anything anymore, I'm curious to get your answer on this. So where do you personally see yourself 5 years from now? And then what about 10 years from now?
That's actually interesting. I think in 5 years, I can just see myself doing the same. Like, I think I'll be doing more crazy tricks. Like, it depends. I wonder. I don't know when my power peak is going to be. So I don't know if it's going to be within those 5 years or not. But all I want to see myself in 5 years be doing is just enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it right now. I just want to continue enjoying it as much. It was always been a big part of my life. Ever since I started doing it, it's always been a big escape and a big way of like expressing my thoughts through motion. And I just hope that I still enjoy it as much as I used to. Like, I want to enjoy tricking forever, and I do want to see myself doing a little bit more variation, because I've been a bit hard on the twisting lately and a bit hard on the swings and stuff. So I would love to see myself doing more interesting transitions like you or people like Sando. That would be, in my tricking, I'd love to see that happen. And then in 10 years, I don't know, like in both 5 and 10 years, I would love to see myself making a bit more money off of tricking, I would say. Like, I'm not really actively trying to right now, but like, I would love for it to be a bit, bigger, or there be more money in it in a way, just because I see stuff like Art of Motion, which happened like recently, and I see these guys who are like getting massive followings and stuff like that, and they're getting Red Bull sponsorships and stuff, and I hope that can be a part of the future of tricking and stuff like that. But like in 10 years, I could just see myself probably quite not as crazy as I am now, but still tricking. I mean, I have like one of my close friends from London is Matteo, who's like totally. I can't remember how old he is now. He's like 37 or 38.
I feel like he's close to 40. Yeah.
He's my motivation for longevity wise. I'm gonna keep working on my knees, keep working on my ankles, and I hope to be like Matteo. A huge shout out to him. he's been killing it for so long, and just, you know, I mean, he's been injured recently with like the ACL.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL like back in the end of 2019 or 2018. I can't remember which one, but he's coming back more than ever now, and he's an unstoppable force, and I would love to be able to be kind of like that when I'm getting older and, you know, keep progressing. I don't know if I'll be quad corking in 10 years, but you never know. Like, I don't know if I would even want to do quad cork at that point, but like, I just hope to see myself still enjoying it as much as I am today. And I hope to, I don't know where I'll be in the world. I don't know if I'll still be in Sweden or wherever, but I hope to, you know, just enjoy it, just enjoy everything. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, yo, more than anything, I really appreciate your time and your perspective on the sport. But, you know, on behalf of the community, we appreciate all that you do as far as dedicating your time and your energy and your body to pushing the boundaries, man. It does not go unnoticed, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everything that comes out in the future.
Thank you. Yeah, and like, thank you for you to bring me on here. Like, I've always wanted to speak to you in person, or like speak to you properly anyway, because we didn't get so much of a chance last time. And you know, I've always looked at you guys in America, and just like you in general is like, it's really cool how you, like, as a stunt coordinator, get to do all of this shit for like movies and stuff. I think that's really cool, and I really enjoy, like, everything that you do with Jam and everything. I really enjoy the channel in general. It's really good.
Dude, I appreciate that so much, man. And hopefully when the world gets back to normal, we'll have some events, and I'd love to fly you out and make it happen, dude.
Yeah, more than anything, I'd love to be there. I mean, I was just watching all these like American, like Neo 8 happening. I'm just crying in my chair, just watching. But even last, like the Jam gathering you had looked so amazing. So I would love. I've never tripped in Jam. It's like the most legendary VM ever. I have to go. Gotta go. I gotta go sometime.
Oh, well, I know some people at Jam. We'll make that happen.
See, I'm pretty in with the guys at Jam. You know? Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Hell yeah, man. And so, yo, before we get out here, can you just let people know where they continue to stay up to date with you and your personal journey, and maybe reach out to you about private lessons or any training they want to do as well?
My Instagram is probably the best, like, to contact me, and I do post mostly on Instagram. I like the big stuff you're going to find on my YouTube nowadays with the samplers and the samplers and the videos there. I usually have, like, Instagram kills quality and everything, so I like to have there as like a good archive of my best stuff. So I would say if you're looking to, you know, enjoy my tricks the most, probably YouTube. If you're looking to contact me about something, then it's my Instagram, and that's at Tiki Wu 02, and then my YouTube is just Tiki Wu.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Guys, please be sure to follow him, and please be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe for brand new episodes each and every week. Join us every Monday for Jam Breakdowns and every Friday for brand new JAMCast, interviewing influential members of the movement community like Mr. Tiki Wu himself. So with that being said, guys, I had to give one more very special shout out. Thanks for coming through, man. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me on.
Hell yeah. And as always, guys, coming through, I'm your host, Travis Wong. Thanks for joining us here on another JAMCast. Until next time, we'll see you all soon. Peace.